So life has its trials and tribulations. Everything in life is cyclical or wave like. So you have your ups and downs. But these waves, I think, lead to balance in life, and I think they're almost needed to guide you forward in a straight way. Because if you didn't have the waves, you could end up going on a path that is absolutely unfamiliar with what you wanted to, or you can lead to some seriously bad situations. So you'll notice in life sometimes you go through really productive stages or really unproductive stages, and usually the productive stage will last a while, and then you'll feel yourself burning out, but you'll push through it, and then you'll burn out and have a big trough in workload for a while. It might, depending on how hard you worked previously, will kind of dictate how long you have off after, if you don't have a few key mindset kind of changes. One of those is being just habits, making sure just to keep up the habit even if you don't feel like doing it and you might be overworked. But if you've ever noticed that you do work in these peaks and troughs, then it's very normal. Every single person has that exact same thing. And imagine it just like the rhythm of your life, like the heart beating. You need to contract and then relax, contract and then relax. So if you're just constantly contracting, it's going to lead, imagine if you just had a muscle that you were just contracting 24/7 and you had no rest. Obviously that muscle's going to end up being injured, isn't it? Or it's just going to be excruciatingly painful. But you're not developing and working the muscle like you should be working it. So if you were just relaxing the whole time, well, you're just going to get flabby and not strong. So you need to, with the rhythm of life, you need to make sure you're incorporating enough rest along with the work, and then enough rest along with the work to ensure that your life is pointed and moving in a direction that's moving you forward. Otherwise, you might be overstrained and then just going around in circles, or like you said, getting lazy. But there's actually benefits to relaxing. So obviously you can't relax too much, like I said, but like you hear these influencers that say, if you're not working like an 80-hour work week, you're never going to make it. And if you're, there is an argument, a very valid argument, of which, if you're not the 0.01% and the person who is in the 0.01% is working 80 hours a week, then that's the thing that is allowing them to get to 0.01%. And that's fair enough. But, I know I've been around people who are in the top at least 1%. And what I can tell you is they work hard, but they also relax hard as well. So the 80-hour work weeks where you just constantly switched on, you can't rest, can last for months at a time. But then they always give themselves, when they go for a break, they go for a real good break where they're fully relaxed and get to a point where they can actually, think about what they're doing to a point of like, is this the right direction I'm going in? Or just completely not think about what they're doing at all and completely relax. So if you think about like you're pumping a muscle to get stronger, you obviously need to relax, contract. And the relaxation time that is needed can actually allow you to assess whether what you're doing is right. A good example of this is COVID. A lot of people during COVID, if you're old enough to remember, who were working, never went back to their jobs because they realized that they wanted a career change or something like that. That's probably because all they were doing 24/7 is working, slaving away for the paycheck, and not having any time to relax to think, is this what I want to do? Is this where I want to go? Am I on the right direction in life? You know, one thing that I like to do is every day I like to get in a walk or some quiet time. You know, it's all very well and good me saying like relax and then work, then relax and then work, but how do you relax if all you're doing is working? And let's say you do want to be in the top 0.1%, how do you get in that relaxation time? Well, you've got to schedule in meditation or a walk. A walk and meditation is similar. Sauna is good, but you've got to get a period where you're not creating or you're not working. But sometimes creating can help as well. It depends on how your mind gets stimulated. But like, essentially, the last thing you should be doing is watching a movie, listening to a podcast, scrolling, God forbid, scroll through X or TikToks. It just drains your energy. What you need to do is you need to sit in a nicely lit room, however you want, with some ambience in the background, or preferably nothing going on, so you finally feel the silence and you feel like the weight lifted off you, and then you just try and think of nothing for as long as you can and have a lie down, maybe half an hour, an hour, or 20 minutes, as long as you can fit in. I know people have busy schedules and they need sleep and stuff as well, but that allows you to fully decompress. And you'll notice when you're decompressing, you won't be able to help yourself but have certain thoughts about, what am I doing? Is my health okay? I'm worried about this person, blah 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 blah. You'll start to think about life more, and it's needed. So then you can get ideas about what you're going to do next in the business, rather than just going down one avenue. You can be like, actually, you know, like I'm liking e-commerce, drop shipping on Shopify right now. Actually, this Amazon pathway, that seems okay. Maybe I might learn about how to do FBA or something like that. And then you start learning how to do FBA, and then you build both Shopify and FBA at the same time, and then you might come up with new products in this off time, because usually your subconscious, when you're not thinking about stuff, your subconscious, the things that are bubbling up, bubbling out, your subconscious are from your subconscious. So it'll be taking in account things that you might not be, like if you sat there and tried to think of an idea, you know, this is like the creative spirit that humans have. Unless you know how to channel or stimulate the creative side, you might struggle with just trying to sit there and think of the idea going forward, unless you're like methodical and you're going through and you like game theory it, or look at probabilities or stats. Depends on how your brain works. But if you're constantly working, this is a part of mastery, by the way. Dreams, okay, it sounds weird. Go read the book Mastery by Robert Greene. He has a aspect of this where like people come up with the best music, songs, music lyrics, melodies in their dreams. People come up with stuff like physics calculations from the dreams. And then there's obviously the Newton that was just sat under a tree and came up with the idea. This sat under a tree is just, he will have probably just been relaxing. You know, his subconscious will have been working. He probably wasn't totally focusing on everything, but like, you know, the iceberg analogy where you got your conscious at the top and everything else, the subconscious at the bottom. So your subconscious is going to take in loads and loads and loads and loads of information that you're not consciously thinking of, and it will just literally give you an answer. It will just pop into your head. You're like, oh my god, that's quite interesting. And as soon as you get that thing that's like, that's quite interesting, then you can follow that. And that's the benefit of having the relaxed downtime. So I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but it might be something like relax to gain momentum or something like that. But it really is valuable. But the whole point of this video as well was to let you know that you can't do just one or the other. You can sit there and think, oh well, I'm just going to relax forever and just come up with all these ideas. That's great. You've actually got to do the work as well. You've actually got to go through that contraction phase, and then, or like vice versa, if you're just working and you're not stopping and thinking, is this the right route, assess, analyze, think, then you might just be heading in a direction, and come up to barriers and you'll come up to barriers and think, oh, I don't know what to do next. I'm just going to continue doing this. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to pray and hope. Sometimes working just anywhere will stimulate ideas in terms of this is what not to do, for example, but you can come up against barriers and then be really stuck. When you're really stuck and you've been working and trying and working and trying, just take a moment, a day, go on a walk. It might take a while. You might be overworked. You might need a week off. You might need a little holiday somewhere. Like, give yourself a holiday if you're overworked and you're stuck in your work. Don't sack off the work. Make sure you come back to it afterwards. But you never know, during that holiday, your brain works. When you go to sleep, something happens, and then out of nowhere you will get an idea, and then that idea, if you follow it, that's like the whole thing, always follow your gut. That idea does tend to work out more often than not. Like, I'll give you an example that I do for real life. There's actually so many examples. Trading, like on where I should put my money long term, and video ideas. Like, before this video, I was at the gym and I was listening to a few podcasts, but then I was like, okay, I feel a bit overstimulated right now. I need to let my brain relax. So then I've come to charge my car. It's about a 30-minute car journey, and I didn't, well, from the gym it is, not from my house, but that was 30 minutes of me in a quiet Tesla thinking about what to talk about. And then I went down a few rabbit holes just in my head, just relaxing. I was thinking about personal people, someone who's just passed away who's close to me, and I was thinking about like spirits, and then I was thinking about time and things like this, and direction, like I'm always thinking about, really. But yeah, it stimulates ideas, just the silence, because you start thinking about stuff and then you follow paths in your brain, and then stuff starts just bubbling up, and then you're like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll talk about that. And then what else do I use it in? Well, just my business as well. That example I used earlier about the Shopify and the FBA for Amazon, e-commerce, drop shipping-esque, is actually something that I am doing currently. And because I was stuck in doing this Shopify gig, just rinsing and repeating the same thing with not much success, knowing the end goal but not knowing how to get there, if that makes any sense. And then I took a bit of a break, a bit of a relax, and I had this idea just to search. I can't even remember how the idea came to me. I had a memory that was so deep down I didn't even realize I had it. It just popped up to my head about one of my mates back when I was about 10 years ago. He was a little bit older than me, and he did Amazon dropshipping. So I thought, well, I'm gonna just go check on Udemy whether I can learn or do a course about Amazon dropshipping. And then I found, well, before that I went on a few YouTube videos for some stimulation about what to do, and one chick was doing an FBM thing, but then I've got a brand, so then I realized I should do FBA. So then I went and did this Udemy course, and now I'm like, actually, during this course, the course is about 13 hours. It's taken me about 2 weeks to do it. And during this course, I've had a brainwave of how I'm going to come up and how I'm going to get the product and market research the product and know how to get the product that the end goal is, and also how to build up relationship with manufacturers, and get the money to be able to invest to develop the product in the start with. But during that time, while I'm gathering the money, I will be like sharpening my teeth, is that the correct phrase, on learning about marketing on the on the Amazon way. I'm already know what I'm doing on Google and stuff like that, but like learning things from what these guys are doing on Amazon, I actually can copy and paste that into Google. It's pretty similar. Just a few tips and tricks, like compounding knowledge over time. But you'll be amazed at how much you can compound knowledge over time just through following your interests. Because you'll find that your interests they might vary, but they won't vary so much. Like if you're interested in football, or let me do investments. If you're interested in investments, you'll be learning 1 minute how to do long minute trading or long-term investing, and then you'll learn about how to do short-term trading, and then you'll learn about doing swing trading, and then you'll learn about reading charts, and then you'll learn about fundamentals of companies, and then you'll learn about the intelligent investor Warren Buffett's method and all these kind of things. And then eventually, because you've just been following your interest, and I'm interested in this, interested in that, you'll be able to just compound all that together, and then when it comes to investing, you can be like, all right, I'm going to do the fundamental research, I'm going to join that up with a bit of the trading analysis of the charts using all these different indicators. I'm going to join that up with the current economic climate, and then I'm going to go off a few gut feelings of me seeing what's happened before in certain situations, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, I just timed something really well. And you can actually go check back in the videos about like the Trump tariffs and all that kind of stuff, and some of the stock picks I was looking at, talking about at the time, and 50% up in 2 weeks is not bad. But yeah, so that's just currently what's going on right now. It's a bit of a thought, is you've got to relax and contract in life to move forward. So if you like this video, give me a subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment below. Keep me motivated, guys, because I do like doing this. I do like rambling, but I know the more successful I get at this, then the more I'm going to be doing it. So yeah, thanks. I'll see you in the next video.